When I told her that I'm going to get my lips done, no way, do not go. Your lips are perfect, they're totally fine.
You're going to look plastic, boys don't actually like it. Who gives an F?
Exact, we don't do it for the boys.
You would go as far as saying that you're addicted.
I mean, it's not, I don't know.
It's not uncontrollable.
It's not something uncontrollable, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love getting my lips done.
These are things that obviously, like, I wish someone told me. Most people are not being told these things either.
Welcome to the She Word, conversations women rarely have but really should. My name is Sasha. I am your host for this edition of the She Word, the Young Women's Edition, and we are back here, 2025, the first show of the year. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
So, today we're diving into a topic that's becoming more common but isn't talked about openly enough. And that is the rise of cosmetic procedures among young women. So let's be real, we all feel the pressures to look a certain way, whether it's from social media, beauty standards, or just trying to feel like the best version of ourselves. But what is it really like to make the choice to change something about your appearance? What's empowering about it? What's challenging? We're going to explore all of that today with some amazing women who've been there and done it and are even open about it on social media, which I think is really important in the age of influence. So they're sharing their stories, their experiences, and the truths behind the decision to go under the knife or under the needle. So I'm joined here on this table today by three women who have two things in common. They're all young, just in their early 20s, and they've all undergone some kind of cosmetic procedure, whether it was Botox, fillers, or plastic surgery. So we've got Sarah Al-Fallah, a 25-year-old influencer boasting a massive following on Instagram, working in social media and as a marketing strategist. Hello, Sarah. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
We've got Jade Scambri, a 23-year-old, also working as a social media manager and content creator, who also appeared on the second season of Love Island Malta. Hello, Jade.
Hi!
And finally, also Jade, we have Jade Gorge, a 20-year-old who has been working in makeup for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
And of course, our own makeup artist on the She Word, returning for the second time on the show. Hello.
Hello.
So
Double
thank
the
you.
Janes today.
Displayed our faces.
Exactly. We have got a really uplifting show for you today. Okay, Jade, can you introduce yourself?
Oh my god, that's hilarious!
His face, man.
Trudy dared me, so I had to do it.
I heard.
I had to do it. She double dared me.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hello, my name is Jade. I'm 20 years old. So, yes, I've been a makeup artist for 4 years now, and I'm going to continue my studies abroad as well very soon. I work part time in a makeup store, so I get some clients that really ask for certain products that really want to achieve the look without actually doing like the surgery itself. So, like, that would be cool to talk about soon.
Yeah, that's really
But
interesting,
yes.
actually.
I'm here again.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Okay, my name is also Jade. I'm 23 years old. I was gonna say 22.
Happy birthday, by the way.
And I work in content and social media. I've been doing this for the past 2-3 years. It was starting when I started Miss Malta, because I was on accounts, by the way. Total shift in career at 22.
You were
and
also Miss Malta.
I was Miss Republic of Malta. I came second.
Ah, I didn't know that, actually.
Same year.
And how old were you back then?
21.
Oh.
And that was the beginning of my love for marketing. And that is why now I shifted everything. Anyway.
And now, Sarah, it's still your turn now.
I know. My name is Sarah. I am 25 years old and I've been doing social media for the past 8 years now.
Oh, wow.
I know. And my passion for it was always, I think, like since I was young, I always wanted to become a YouTuber actually. And I remember I had my laptop and all that stuff, like
Sweet.
filming with it with a giant laptop, going like, "Hey guys."
Guys, it's
But,
Sarah.
and I also like have a passion for, obviously because of my OCD, to revamp businesses, layouts, and their brand images, because obviously we're constantly changing when it comes to social media and all that stuff. And I also had some things done, which we'll talk further on.
Yeah, so I actually want to say this. Like, you are one of the people who inspired the show. I told you just a little bit earlier. I always take notes of people I come across on social media normally, in relation to the team that I would like to explore. And when I saw that you didn't just get your boobs done, you were actually open about it on social
And I've
media.
been saying, obviously, since I was I started social media 8 years ago. I've been saying it since like 8 years ago that I will get my boobs done. And also when it came like to my nose, like talking about my nose and my deviated septum and all that stuff, I'm like, once I am like securedly, everything is gonna go, like my sinus and everything, I will do it as well.
You've done your
So-
nose?
My
You've done-
deviated septum, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Perfect nose. I love
Thank
it.
you. But yes, and like people, for example, telling me prior to doing it, they're like, "No, you did your nose. You're lying." I'm like, I will document it when I do it, and you will see it. Like I'm telling you, and that's also a reason because like while I was in the content house and all that stuff, I
Mhm.
had such a young audience when it comes to like girls. In
Mhm.
fact, I used to use, the filters and all that stuff that like, make your lips bigger. Your
Mhm.
no. I stopped using them and I had like the worst breakout there, like because of stress and all that stuff. And I stopped using them because I was just like, Lala, there are so many young girls
Mhm.
that like are looking up to me and the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I look and all that stuff. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna look like a wreck. If I'm a wreck, I'm a wreck.
But you're
It's
being
the
real
reality
about
of
it
it.
at least.
And I was being real about it. And I feel like that's why I kept my audience the way it was as well, because I was real through it all.
Yeah, and this is exactly it. Like, I feel that it's very important in the age of influencers, in the age of social media, and how much it has taken over our lives, how much we're influenced by it, the beauty standards, to actually have influencers who go and get their boobs done, but they're completely open about it. They're not there trying to pretend as if they woke up, and their
I
boobs
know.
are
Fine
looking
day, like, look
Because
what
I
I
have,
have.
but so many are for
but
me.
open about it.
For example, I used to always call myself a content creator, because I was always like a shadow on being an influencer and all that stuff. Until when I said that, like, guys, call me a content creator, not an influencer, they're like, you're actually an influencer. Because, like, you actually open
Influence.
up about, like suicide and all that stuff. You talk about what you do. You're very open about traumas and all that stuff. Like, you're actually doing something with your platform while also posting, like
Your
fashion and
boobies.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
while being a content creator as well. But there's a difference between being a content creator just post like, fancy stuff, fancy outfits, and someone who actually like opens up about these things and all that stuff. But everyone calls themselves an influencer, not a content creator. And I feel like that's where it also creates a bit of like confusion as well, because you see so many people online that they don't show their life, which is rightful, because I feel like you don't have to be online showing all your moments, but if you choose to, then yes, I feel like you should be open with what you do and what you don't, and not like
Should show the real
fake it.
stuff.
The main thing that I hate, for example, you'd be on a table and I can detect if someone did something like that, and you'd be on a table and you'd be like, no, I'm all natural, like, and they would be like,
Yeah.
the only thing I did was like my eyelashes, but that's it, like I'm scared, and I'm just like, your eyebrows are not even moving.
Like you notice it. Yeah.
I actually
Like,
told
what
you
are
this
you
before.
saying?
I have a total blindness when it comes to this. Unless it's very obvious work, I literally cannot tell if someone had Botox done or fillers done or their lips done. Truthfully, I barely know the difference between Botox and fillers.
Just ask them to frown.
That is really good. And
You get to know the truth.
yeah,
Gasp.
Wow, that is
Gasp, please.
amazing.
and that is why I'm so excited for this show today, because we have quite a range on this table. So we have someone who has had her boobs done, your nose done as well,
And I mean, now that's what it's called. Though.
Botox, fillers. Jade, you also had like Botox and fillers, right?
Yes.
And then other Jade, makeup artist Jade.
Yes.
How are we gonna make this easy?
So
You've had a little bit of your
Accentuates.
lips done, so that
Yeah.
is basically just enhancing what you already had. And then we have me, who has never had anything done. I have my opinions about it, but I'm also quite open about
Open
it.
about it,
I don't
exactly.
feel I feel that everyone should do what makes them feel good,
Exactly.
and I think we should all live by that. There shouldn't be any judgment, even not on this table, not out there, but that would be the perfect world. But yes, so keeping this in mind, we have a diverse kind of range here. But Sarah, I want to go back to you. Like,
The reason why I haven't spoken about the nose yet, one, because I did it because of my deviated septum. If anything, I'll show you a photo
Bro,
after.
what is a deviated septum? Sorry.
I had this nostril like all my life. It was never function. Like if I do this, now I can.
yeah.
I
Okay.
couldn't breathe through it. And the reason
know.
when I realized was after I did my boobs because I had to sleep upright.
You did them together?
No. I did my nose last September.
Ah, okay.
Like 19th. Exactly.
Okay.
Tomorrow it would be 3 months. And
My nose is 3
when
months out.
when this goes live, it will be 4 months. The only difference is this, like the septum part. But I'm open about saying a nose job because people are going to be like, "Oh, yeah, medical, but you still did a nose job." So I'm just gonna be like, you know, call it a nose job if you want to call it a
Yeah.
nose job.
Fair enough.
But I was very happy with my nose. In fact,
Did it like actually change the shape of your nose though?
the tip, because obviously he needed cartilage to
She has
to
quite the
create.
pixie nose, and like you
Very
have
pretty.
But my nose was always like that. My
Okay.
nose was always, in fact, I had filler up here, like to make it actually straight, because I always hated this Asian like dip here. And I had filler here, like to make it straight. And then when I went
Filler in my nose.
when I went to Turkey to do this thing, I woke up and the first thing he told me was like, I removed that hideous filler that you had in your nose. It was like, your nose is perfect. I was just like, okay, thank you, but I did not ask for that. So he removed the filler that I
I
had
think
here.
it has to when you're doing surgery. But
Yes,
no.
Yeah,
yes.
probably.
But still, I was just like, when I went in, the first
Okay.
thing, no, I was scared to do it. In fact, my boyfriend at the time, I was like, I don't want to do it. I was like, but I'm having trouble sleeping. I wasn't sleeping properly. Like I was choking in my like saliva. It was bad.
Wow.
Ouch.
And
I'm
and this
really
was
scared to
since
do
my
it.
boobs. So I did my boobs in March.
So this
So-
was all 2024.
Yes, yeah, because I always slept like a cat, like always like this. So I never had problems sleeping upright because I never liked sleeping upright. So then that started, and I remember when I did the consultation, I was like, I don't want to change the shape of my nose. I don't want to. I was like, remove whatever you need to remove internally. He was like, but if I'm going to change internally, because obviously when you have a deviated septum, one size is smaller and the other size is bigger, to make it like straight, technically you need to even it out. So obviously, like let's say one side is still the same and the other side looks like the other side now. But I'm very happy with it because I can breathe and all that stuff.
And all that stuff. Apart from looking like a
Important.
beauty queen, I can also breathe.
I'm like, in fact, like right now, obviously the swelling is going down because apparently it takes a year like to heal. And I just messaged my best friend. I told her, "Yes, mom, saying it like a bit slopey. Yeah, like I was like, why am I seeing it more
The
like
only reason I'm
Dana?"
scared of doing my nose is because I'm scared that after doing it, I'd have trouble breathing. That's why I'm scared.
Ara.
Some people say
Yes, for me, obviously, it was different because
I needed it to
I
breathe.
wasn't breathing. I wasn't breathing, and now I'm
but I
breathing.
breathe just fine, so I'm scared.
In fact,
Okay.
I felt like I had Vicks up my nose. That's how like fresh it was because it was closed. And he told me I had to drill up here as well because my bone, like I had like an extra bone up here.
Even
But
hearing it, I get
even
anxiety.
if I didn't get it done, like in the long term, like I was going to have like more problems with breathing, more sinus. Like even I had adenoids. He removed my adenoids as well at the back. In fact,
You're
he was
talking too
not a
difficult
surgeon.
for
He's
me.
an ENT. Like there's
Wow.
a difference
So
between
this
a
is
surgeon
kind
and
of
an
a
ENT.
case where a nose job can be kind of
Needed.
I mean, you wouldn't even call it a nose job in this case, right? Because
I
you
know,
didn't do
but,
it with the
you know,
intention of changing
I
your
know.
nose.
In fact, I
but to
cried when I
actually,
saw
like enhance the function of your nose. It was more focused on actual functionality.
And you know the perspective of when like you speak to someone. At first they're like, "I got your nose done," and then when you say, "Ah, I wasn't breathing," and I show them a picture of like how my nostril was, then their face shifts because then they see it like as a medical point of view. I'm like, the judgment.
So, okay, that was a great kind of deviation, if I may.
No, it's straight.
But Jade,
Yes.
so when did it start? When was the first moment that you decided, okay, I want to get Botox or I want to get fillers? What did you get first?
My first job was my lips at 18. 18 mal-ewwel, the first thing I wanted to do. It was, I think, it was always something I was insecure about, you know, the same, like you said, with the filters and stuff like that. I always like to use them and how I look with them. And then I removed them. I'm like, shit, no. Then I turned 18. I could make my own decisions. And I got them done for the first time. And that was where my addiction started for lip fillers.
You would go as far as saying that you're addicted.
I mean, it's not, I don't know.
It's not uncontrollable.
It's not something uncontrollable, but
Yeah.
I love it. I love getting my lips done. So I am someone who is scared of needles, terrified of needles. I can't even look at her doing my lip fillers. But
Why do you love it?
because I feel so good right after. And when the plump goes, at first you say, Illallu, how plumpy it is. It goes down. Then you're like, no, I miss it. And then at, I think it was a year ago, or a bit more. Let's say I was 21. I was doing my lips, and I always had a concern about getting Botox here because
frown lines
I
are
have a bit of a face, like, you know, and I'm always thinking.
Take care and indulge in the liberation of smooth, hair-free skin. Browns, empowering wellness through its excellence in laser hair removal.
Something about the way you bounce makes me want to keep you around my mind. My mind. Something about the way you sound shakes me up and makes me get down on my.
This celebration is about those who come next, building on dreams and foundations. You get the context. For our people, our movement, not lost, but living, searching for a future filled with living, loving and giving. It doesn't have to be about the great, the big and the mighty. It can be about taking those small acts of kindness just a little less lightly. Making the most of our bodies, being thankful for each new day. The next 15 years is about the new creators, thinkers, movers and shakers. But we need a helping hand. Are there any takers?
Take care and enjoy healthy skin. Browns, empowering wellness through a selection of dermo-cosmetic brands ideal for the whole family.
You mentioned before
Exactly,
resting
bitch face, you call it. And
you feel that Botox helped with that?
yes, but to be honest, I never told my doctor I want Botox.
Yeah.
As I said anything, I went to do my lips, in fact. And I said, I'm 21. If I tell this woman I want Botox, she's going to think I'm fucking crazy. And I'm doing my lips, and I think I was making the face. And she's like, Jade, Albi, I'm gonna do your forehead.
Oh, wow,
I'm
okay.
like, babe, yes, yes, please do my forehead. And I was scared to tell you because I was scared of what your reaction would be.
Suggested it for
She
you.
suggested it for me, and it's not like she wasn't gonna get money because sponsored, you know. It was a genuine concern.
Oh, it's sponsored for you.
Yes,
It's sponsored for you as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
it wasn't always sponsored for me.
And do you
for me.
feel that not you, we'll
for
get to
me,
you
man.
soon. Do you feel
I
that
have to
changes
pay.
it for you in some way? Do you feel that you need to be more open about it just because it's sponsored, or you're
No.
open about it because you really want to be open
No,
about
I've
it
always said.
I was open about all these things prior
before?
to even like, and
Yeah.
in fact, I feel like I manifested the sponsorships because I always said,
At ma kon id-deja, I was never ashamed of saying I did my lips. Anzi, if the doctor says go for a natural look, I'm like, but I don't want a natural look. I want my lips to be.
for my nose, whenever I used to say I want to do it before, no one understood why I wanted to do it. And like for the past like few months, and let's say, it was always like, what's wrong with your nose? I'm like, it's not aesthetic. It's not like
Functionality, yeah.
it's not the but they don't get it. And what you
Yes.
were going to say about the Botox, it doesn't matter the age. If you're dehydrated, if your genetics, if your
Exact.
pores, you can be 18. You can have the skin texture of someone who's 40.
It's true.
Or like your muscles as well. Like a lot of people, I'm one of them as well, carry stress like in their faces. For me, it's like my jaw and my eyebrows. My eye is constantly twitching, for example. Like if I don't get like the Botox here and
It's
here,
true.
like it's constantly going like that because of the stress.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I don't have the grinding stress anymore because I have the masseter Botox here. So it has to go somewhere.
In reality, Botox,
it just
it's a
relaxes your
muscle
muscle.
relaxer.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
Unless you take no,
We're
but
learning today.
it depends on the dosage you
Learning.
get. If you take like a small dosage to relax the muscle,
Exactly. To
you're-
take what you need, like
you're going to end up like someone who doesn't stress their muscle. So
Exactly.
you're going to be normal. But if you don't have stress in your muscle and you do Botox, that's when the change is going to happen.
Exact.
Well, we are literally debunking Botox here. I don't know that much about it. But Jade,
Your lips.
so you had your lips done, I guess, around a year ago.
Yeah, about a year and a month ago, something like
And
that.
we've also spoken that you went through a period of time where you were considering getting a breast reduction surgery,
Yes.
which is literally like quite the opposite here. I love that we have so many opposites.
No, when it comes to my lips, at first I was quite unsure about the decision, and I did it just because it was very popular, like it still is now, and I just wanted to know what the feeling is, what the fuss is all about, literally. So I booked a consultation.
It wasn't because you were insecure about it or something.
Not
Just a
really,
plump.
because
Just you wanted
I
to
always,
experiment the
I always
feeling.
like to like
Overline,
overline, you know what I mean, with like with makeup. But I still wanted to get them done. But I just wanted out of curiosity to see what it feels
What you
like.
feel like.
And then I went for a consultation, and then I went to get my lips done, and I was very, very scared because I'm as well afraid of needles. I'm okay to get tattoos done, but when
Yeah,
it comes to
same.
needles, like around my face, no. So yeah, there was a certain point where I was going to get addicted. So like I got my lips done, you know, like you have that like fresh plumpy look. And like after 3 weeks, I was like, Mom, where did it go? Like I need more. And then like a family relative did them as well. And she said the exact same thing. So
First
I
time they
think,
go, yeah.
yes. So I think you can easily get addicted to it. You just have, like in my personal opinion, I want to keep it as a natural look as much as possible, especially at my age. Like that's my opinion. And regarding my boobs, it got to a point where it really, really hurts. So like,
Hit your back.
yes, it hurts my back, my posture. It's like I'm always like tired and lazy.
Even
And-
outfits.
Sorry?
Outfits.
Yeah.
You have
And
to carry the weight of being a
clothes.
bad bitch.
it was it was a very, very, like I remember it like 2 summers ago, but I was really thinking about it like last summer. Because it got very difficult. It always is, every summer especially, to find the right bra, the right swimsuit, and especially from last year, I do not know why, every shop is doing backless clothing. Bras, it's always like a difficulty. So I cannot go to like these cheap shops and buy a 12 euro bra. One bra for me costs like 60, 70 euro.
Oh my God.
So because I need like the bigger
Whoa.
cup.
Rental investment.
Whoa.
So like, because I need the bigger cups, which usually like these cheaper stores, they don't even go to like cup F.
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 Bruh.
Damn, girl. And I thought double Ds were hard to find clothes for.
I thought my boobs were big.
Because I struggle as well as a double D, but F is like
No, like I have to go like to these, and especially like then I find bras when I'm abroad. Like I really did my bra shopping when I was in London. I remember it was like very convenient for
London
me.
got big boobies.
Yeah.
It's a Maltese people. They have
They
big boobs.
yes.
They
Like
have big
no,
boobs.
it's in the family.
Genetic,
It runs in the family. And it really got very uncomfortable for me because I was like going shopping for clothes like everyone does. And it was this trend that all the clothes were going backless. So
Mm.
basically, I was like searching for clothes, and like the front is all like sparkly, and like it has all this nice
Yeah.
wording.
Pretty.
And then I like turn it back, and it's backless, or like it has like these stripes, which the bra like can be seen from every angle.
Yeah.
So I just, end up not buying clothes basically, and just in winter, lots of sweaters, scarves, etc., to cover
That's
it.
where I was going to tell you that being flat chested and being like having a huge bust, the kind of like discomfort of it all, like mentally, it's not like you're doing it really. Okay, some people do it because of other people opinions and all that stuff, but most people, like the actual root of it would be because they are uncomfortable with it, like not feeling sexy in their own skin, not feeling comfortable in their own skin.
It's also how it's portrayed on social media. Everyone
not-
with their boobies like up to their mouth, you know?
I'm gonna tell you something. When it comes to females, if it's something that reduces the male gaze, like you looking
Factor.
more attractive for the male gaze, like getting your boobs like, having a reduction, that's okay, because oh my god, they're so heavy and all that stuff. But if you're getting your boobs done, which they know that guys are automatically, they love big boobs. No, my god, so fake. No, later, like you're going to look plastic. Boys don't actually like it. Who gives an F?
Exactly. We don't do it for the boys.
Who gives an F?
No,
There
I
is a
was-
stark difference
But
in the way
listen,
people
some
react.
people are a bit insecure about these
whether-
things, you
yeah.
know? Like, how will men see me? مش ħanajlek jien.
No.
فهمت? Imma there are a lot of people.
Why do you think makeup is called makeup? To make up for what you don't have.
Ooh,
Oh, damn.
yeah, that was deep.
Wow.
Damn.
That was
No.
good.
No, but it's true. It's true. That's why. And we're so focused on the beauty because guys fall for what they see. So we want to
True.
make sure we're all done up and all that stuff.
I fall for myself.
But
Also,
exactly. So
also
when they see, so when
looking
they
beautiful
see,
for yourself, right?
That is the most
but
important.
but girls don't believe that some girls do that actually for
It's true,
themselves.
it's true.
It's
But that's
very
because that, I think, reflects their
Their
own
insecurity.
insecurities.
Exactly.
Not to say that, but that's
No,
the
it's
reality
true.
of it.
It's true.
Like,
And
I don't do
that's-
anything for a man. I do it because I like to wake up in the morning and
And
say,
you like to feel good.
hey, ħanmorru.
Exactly. Exactly.
And I think it's so healthy to do it with that attitude as well. Because I would want to ask, of course, at some point, do you feel that you do it to kind of fit yourself into these beauty standards that we're constantly kind of surrounded by?
I think you could never really make everyone happy. So that's why I think the best solution is to do it for yourself.
For me, if it was to fit in the
Wise
beauty
words.
standards, I would get my legs in length. Like,
You didn't take Nara because if it were up to beauty standards, I would be a
no,
bit
while
shorter.
I was while I was in Turkey getting my boobs done, for example, because we were talking about men not being open and all that stuff. I was having this conversation actually with an older like woman because she was saying everyone is getting so done up now because of social media. Wrong. Before, plastic surgery and all this stuff was very limited exclusively for like actors, singers, and all this
People who
stuff.
have
But it
money.
was always around. Like Megan Fox, for example, her nose
And
job
today
in
people get
Transformers.
loans to do these things.
But at that time, when you're comparing, for example, how Madison Beer to Megan Fox, people would say, "Oh, but Megan Fox was natural." No, she wasn't. Like at the time, she had filler in her lips, literally Botox in her
Natural
eyebrows.
look.
Nose job. It was because it was so exclusive in 2007 compared to now because we're so exposed.
Yeah, it's much more accessible now. That's
It's
for
more
sure.
accessible. Before it wasn't. Before these things were limited to them. The same things with BBL, for example. Before it was very exclusive.
Celebrities only.
It was very exclusive until like the Kardashians were like they can't get a BBL because they're white, huh? And then that's when it started trending because of them getting it. So then everyone was getting it as well, and it
If it
became
was up
so
to me, I get everything
excessive.
done.
But these things were always like around circulating and all that stuff. So that's when I'm like, no, because when older people say, no, everyone is so insecure, they're not happy with themselves. I'm like, no. Mm-mm.
And it really like just pisses me off a bit when it hits the younger audience.
Uh-huh.
So, for example, I work in this makeup store, which we have quite a young audience, and they want to buy these products that have like menthol in it, like lip products, like we have with menthol, like hot chili flakes, like,
Yeah.
To get
because they want to
plumpier
buy.
lip.
But you're like 23 years old. These are like
Il-nixhom kollha.
These are young.
11-year-old,
know.
12-year-olds. You know what I mean?
Actually,
So like
we are growing
so
up, they're growing
they already
up.
want that look at that age. So how will they look when
Everyone
they
wants
can
to be
actually do
sexy
it?
because it gives sexy.
And we
But
do
it's
carry
because
this
there's not a
responsibility
lot.
with us, huh? We
There
do
is not
carry
a lot
it.
of, for example, people on TikTok, for example, the amount of times, because obviously like now I'm aware, the amount of times I would scroll and I'm like, she has a nose job, she has a BBL, she literally has a liposuction, all that stuff. And you
You're
can
good.
and you can click on these people and they would never like take accountability of these things. They would be like at the
They go to the gym. Ma
They'd be
tarax.
at the gym and all that stuff. And you as a kid, for example, with like big bones and all that stuff, you look at these people and you're like, bitch, but I'm not like that. Like, what's wrong with my body? Like, I'm not like that. That's the reason why, when example, like I did my boobs, I spoke about it prior, months prior, saying, listen, I'm gonna do it. If there's like, triggers you and all that stuff, don't follow the journey. But I'm going to be speaking about it. My gym account that I post, like my gym pics and all that, obviously, like I love feeling good about myself. I do post pictures here and there and all that stuff. There was a period of time where I used to post everything on my main account until there was a certain crowd that got triggered because I said genetics plus gym equals BBL effect. And it's true. If you have like the hourglass figure, for example, I have it, and you go to the gym, you're going to have a natural, like, bubble butt. But if genetically you don't have it and you go to the gym, you're not going to have it unless you actually go get a BBL because that's not how your muscles work.
Exact.
Anyway, some people got triggered because of that, and that's where I was like enlightened. I was like, okay, I'm gonna create a separate page,
Some people can't handle
put
it.
it private, whoever wants to follow and hear like factual things about like physique and all that stuff. Like for example, I'm tiny.
Did it an actual like separate Instagram page?
I did
you?
I did a separate page where I post like, for example, calorie counting, how to do like a calorie deficit and all these stuff, because some people don't get triggered. But I always said, if you find me triggering, don't follow me because I have an open
I could
book.
have simply unfollow you.
You
But
know,
you do
these
another
these
account,
people, trust me, these people weren't even following me to begin with. But I was like, let me just keep
The
in
biggest
mind.
fans.
But I was like, let me just keep in mind the younger audience that follows me that are not so blunt and open to actually, speak up to me, speak up and tell me, listen, this is hurting my feelings, for example, and all that stuff. So I created a separate page. But with my boobs, I was like, I'm not gonna create a separate
But
page.
listen, in reality, it's your journey.
to talk
People-
to talk about my boobs.
People will get offended sometimes even if you post an apple. Taf kif? For nothing they get offended.
I know, but I felt like with that thing with gym, especially because a lot of people are very like this about gym. For me, example, like the boobs. When it comes to the boobs, they're like, just be happy with yourself and all that stuff. Then if you're happy with yourself, don't go to the gym. Because if you're happy with yourself, you don't go every day, like put yourself on a diet, get skinny. Literally, if you feel like a Big Mac and you're not gonna eat a Big Mac because you want to be skinny.
I love Big Macs.
Oh, but if you're happy with yourself, like unluckily, you can grow a butt at the gym, but you cannot grow boobs at the gym.
True.
So,
In my
God
opinion,
forbid.
everyone should do what they want to do.
Exactly,
Like, قمت fil-ħodu l-lum and I said, my nose is bothering me. Okay, not
not today.
an impulsive decision. If today my nose starting to bother me, I will do it.
Exact. You
And there's
analyze
no
it.
one who should say to me, when a friend of mine, for example, tells me, I get this done, I'm not gonna say, I would say do it. If you want to do it. But like,
Make
Think
sure
about
you're
it.
doing it
you
for
have a pretty
yourself.
for example, you have a pretty nose, but babe, if you want to do it, there's absolutely nothing wrong about it.
Exactly.
Taf kif?
It's
You
your
have
body.
to make yourself happy.
I
And if your
agree.
nose isn't doing that for you, then do it.
No.
I agree, but I also believe a balance needs to be struck. And I say this is one of my own personal opinions. We have to keep in mind that the cosmetic procedure industry, Botox, fillers, plastic surgery, you name it, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Multi-billion-dollar. I have always kind of viewed it that there are these people who are making money, they are monetizing people's insecurities, the insecurities which are set in stone by these ever-changing beauty standards. I don't know, you sure notice it as much as I do, but with social media, beauty standards are constantly changing. I think they used to change at a bit of a slower rate before, but
Yes,
now,
but
I
now
Like
mean,
this
it's
thing
ridiculous to
of
keep up
being
with.
in fashion, of being really thin, then
Exactly.
it's fashion
And then
being
it's
curvy,
curvy, and then it's like small waist, big hips, and then
which sometimes is impossible to
it's
achieve,
dizzying
really.
to keep up with. So I think, and I say this as well for our audience and even for the young people who might be watching, we are not necessarily encouraging that when you do not feel comfortable with yourself, you go and do work.
No.
Because there needs to be a level of accepting yourself. But then you do make a very good point with, for example, choosing to go to the gym. You are actively choosing
Exactly.
to change yourself as well, to better yourself through that.
That's
And
a
it's
different story. I
something-
think
no.
it's more of a health thing, the gym. As in,
Gym, I
obviously,
mean,
you are
it's-
doing.
there are mental
No.
You're
health
getting in shape.
benefits as well. I mean, I go to
Yes,
the
but
gym for
let's
my mental
Me
health.
too,
no,
I
let's
go.
be but let's be realistic and like the whole word perspective. You go to the gym to look better.
مش هيك؟
To look
Ovvio.
better. And the thing is,
And to feel better, yeah?
but the
But
first
what am
the
I
first
saying? You
initiative
do
you go to the
Botox and
gym
fillers
because
to
you
look
gain
better.
weight and you want to lose it.
Gym is healthy.
Initially. Initially, no one thinks if, like, for example, I'm being blunt. When you start going to the gym, no one thinks I'm gonna go to the gym because I'm feeling like depressed or anything. The first
No,
initiative,
no.
I beg to differ because that is literally the only reason I go to the gym. That is the
Some-
only
then
then
you're
reason.
one-
then you're
there are
one in
lots
a
of
few
people.
million.
I
There
know
are
a lot
quite
of
a few
people
true.
who, like, for example,
know
my
some people in
mother,
Malta.
I have friends that, I mean, it's kind of, I guess, my viewpoint on life as well. I don't tend to do things for the end point. I tend to do things for the journey.
That's
And
nice.
gym is one of those things that, for example, right now in the winter months, the sun is like going down at like
Ma,
an
شتوية.
unacceptable time. The days are really short. It's colder, you know. It's harder to swim. It's harder to do the things that
Make
I don't
life
know.
life.
Yeah, yeah. The gym is what keeps that going for me. I don't necessarily go to the gym because I have this vision of how I want my body to look.
I'm gonna tell you something after that. Continue.
But one of the things that keeps me going to the gym is how strong it makes me feel. Not
True.
necessarily how I look in
Like
the
when
mirror.
you don't feel like going and then you go and you're like,
exactly,
I did it. Like,
exactly. Because honestly, seeing results in the gym is a very long time. It takes a lot of
Yes.
commitment as well. It's not as simple as this. But the return, the feeling
And
that
not
it
just
gives
by
you.
going, like
One
the diet,
thing-
everything. Like it
Yes,
affects a lot.
exactly. You know, if you're
If
actually
you
if you're
want
actually
a
going to the
change-
gym to lose weight, that is a game I have
You have
not
to not
cracked
eat, like.
yet, because there are so many things like that you have to keep up with. I find it quite overwhelming.
You nearly 2 years
To be honest.
in our gym. It was so hard for me to get to the gym. I never ever wanted to go to the gym. I spent countless money on memberships, which I never went.
Same.
Like,
Yeah.
and then I said, listen, I need a personal trainer because that's what's gonna keep me. Like I have an appointment for
Yeah.
my fillers, I go, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make an appointment with this lady and I go. And in 2 years, Jeffrey, this concept of going to the gym for losing weight, it's not it. Like
No.
I gained 10 kilos.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
gained 10 kilos,
But
bro.
some muscle.
Obviously,
Exactly.
I was skinny as fuck, not gonna lie. But I needed those 10 kilos. I was eating a lot of shit. And the gym made that happen. Like obviously, but my ass grew, bro. My ass
We'd love
grew.
to see it, no?
You want to see it?
You were about to say something before.
But exactly, like people, like initially, this is the same thing of the perspective that not everyone does work to look better for others, but a lot of people do work because they're insecure of how others
See them.
not how they actually see themselves. Hence why they keep getting stuff and stuff because they
They would
think
never be happy with themselves.
exactly because they're not actually doing it for themselves, they're doing it for someone else. This is the same thing that you're saying. Majority of the people who go to the gym are majority I'm saying are because they're not happy of how they look. Either they're too skinny and they want to gain muscle and gain like muscle mass, or they want to lose weight and be more toned and all that stuff. The fraction of people who actually go to the gym for their mental health is small in comparison to the people who go gym to actually look better. And unfortunately, that's where like a lot of eating disorders come in because they feel like they're going to the gym, they're going to look better, people are going to perceive them better.
And can I just say,
But it doesn't work like that.
It's so harmful for gym influencers to be posting selfies from the gym, showing their workouts.
With angles.
all of this stuff, like, okay, give them the angles,
Jekk
give them the
jagħmlu
lighting,
l-BBLs.
but then the fact that you're a gym person, you are totally all the time advocating for the gym, and then you edit your photos to make your body look smaller. That for me is one of the most harmful
It's true.
depictions that you can have on social media.
True, because it's never a reality.
Exactly. So before I actually had some statistics which I completely forgot to mention, but I would like to circle back to them. So
about that.
and then I want
We were
us,
floating. Sorry.
but that's then I also want us to go. So you all mentioned either like consultation or getting the fillers done or getting the surgeons,
breast reduction as well.
choosing the doctor. So we'll get to that right after these. So in 2022, women accounted for 93% of all cosmetic procedures in the UK, totaling 28,000 procedures. A 10 in the UK, a 101% increase from 2021. That's not crazy. A 101% increase from 2021. So that was just 2022. Countries like South Korea have high rates of cosmetic procedures among young women, with an estimated 1 in 3 women having undergone a cosmetic procedure. And finally, globally, 54.6% of breast augmentations and 66.7% of rhinoplasties in 2021 were performed on individuals aged 18 to 34, indicating a significant proportion of these procedures are sought by young adults. I don't think I mentioned it before, but I kind of grew up with this idea that Botox and fillers were something that you do when you're starting to age, you're starting
When you
to
hit
see
menopause,
some exactly like some lines, and you want to look better and feel better. You want to maybe reverse a bit the process of aging. But in this day and age, and this is why this show is so important, we have younger people doing Botox. And we have people actually saying that, I think you mentioned it before at some point, like the earlier that you do Botox.
Prevention is better than cure.
Exactly.
No, it's true, because wrinkles, you can't remove wrinkles. You're
No,
just
and it
freezing
gives
your
you-
forehead.
And it gives you glow.
For example, an older person who does the same dosage
gonna
as
agree.
Botox as me will still have their wrinkles. Me, for example, my wrinkles, when I get like Botox here, they're not permanently marked yet
Because we prevented them
because I'm preventing them
from being deep in
if
there.
I'm 40, my, like, for example, my forehead like wrinkles by the age of 40, if I never like did Botox till I'm 40 and then I start doing them till they're there. I need to keep maintaining Botox more frequently than if I started in my 20s.
And it does
Wow.
make the skin look better. Like even when I'm doing makeup application on certain clients,
It does.
I'd be like, "Lalo, the foundation.
It
What
does.
a nice look."
Slide.
And they'd be like, "Well, I just had Botox," and I'm like, "Okay,"
Okay.
because it does give that shiny, healthy skin
Yeah.
look, you know. So
Yeah.
it really does. And the thing is,
I
like,
don't understand how that works though.
what do you mean?
What? Of the
How-
skin.
How it makes your skin glow. I mean, I understand because I have it, but I don't understand
'Cause
how
it's
it
like
makes your skin
hyaluronic
glow.
acid,
Yes,
right?
yes. And you're relaxing your muscles as well.
So basically,
That I know.
everyone needs hyaluronic acid in their skin because it makes our skin look fresh,
Even
plump,
And
fillers,
your
I think
muscles, but
fillers
your
for me is
muscles
some
are not
hyaluronic acid.
burning
It's
what's happening
hyaluronic
in
acid.
your forehead. So
Xin
it
basta
stays
inject,
longer.
I know what I do.
You don't even know what's going into.
Because I don't know
No,
either.
no idea. As long as I feel good.
When I got my masseter, and I also got, as in, the thing is, like, I have to like clarify this because people, when they hear Botox once, they think you're constantly injecting and all that stuff.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Let's not go there. But I did Botox, for example, every single Botox that I did, apart from the frown line,
Where have you done Botox?
very.
my traps, because I carry stress as well in my traps.
I carry a lot of stress in my
Listen,
traps.
some people
Maybe I
need it
to-
in the palm of their hands because it's
But
sweaty.
they're
the
sweaty
Botox.
as well. They're sweaty. Like, you
It
can
can
do
be
it under
used
your
for good.
armpits to stop the excess sweating, for example. Yes.
And
yes.
where are all the places that you've done Botox?
I did my traps, my masseter muscle, and my frown line.
This is because you bite, right?
My masseter, I did it like a year and a half ago, so it's gone. I fully have control back of my muscle. And my traps as well, it's gone because it's like a bigger muscle.
You use a lot for there.
No,
You need a lot of
dog.
Botox
interesting.
for these places.
No, like a few. I'm personally very like self-aware with how I look, very happy with how I look. For example, for me, going back to the boobs, I did them because I have a yo-yo weight. I realized I had a yo-yo weight after my eating disorders from when I was 14 because I got so skinny and I lost completely all my boobs.
That happened to
Flat.
me when I told you I was very skinny before I hit the gym.
Yeah,
And
whenever I was skinny
now
in my
they're
life,
back.
my boobs were not
Oh my
there. They
God,
were
they
like
were
They
so
were
teacups.
saggy, bro.
I carry. I'm like a slim, thick person. I'm slim, extremely slim from up top, but my bottom is very like full. So when I lose weight, I lose excessive amount of weight up here, but then here it takes longer for me to see like the result. So
Yeah.
what was happening with the gym? I love going to the gym, but it was making me look obviously like I used to do gymnastics, so my labs and like my lats and all that stuff, they're much more masculine in comparison to someone who doesn't like have a proper like, you know, muscular upper body. So when I was losing weight and getting more fit and all that stuff, my boobs were not there. And I loved my boobs.
It happens.
I love my boobs when I'm like chunky and not like training as much and all that. But obviously,
You can't have it
I
both.
loved. You can if you go to a good slim gym.
Of course. Naturally speaking.
That leads me right to this. So,
So-
when you're going for these procedures, you're
Ah, you
literally
have to do
trusting
so
someone
many
with your
consultations.
body, your beauty, your appearance. Like it's not something to
Experience.
be taken lightly, and I want to stress this. So, how do you find the right doctor? Like, what are your tips with this?
Okay.
What should you really look for in a doctor?
The same thing as TripAdvisor. I'm not joking. There's trip medication.
Seriously.
Yes.
Yes, where everyone
Oh.
posts their reviews about medication, about surgeries, both cosmetic
It's
and
an app?
medical. It's like a TripAdvisor.
Like a Reddit kind of vibe.
And
good. I didn't know
surgeons
about
post
this.
on it, clients post on it, everyone posts on
Wow.
it. They post their reviews, their honest reviews and their concerns. For example, Turkey, they offer packages and all that stuff. Like if the package was up to the standard that they're, you know, what's it called now? Promoting and all that stuff. For example, if
How much I get of these? I think they hear us on Instagram.
They ask
they
you.
target, for example, the clinic I worked with.
If I mention getting veneers, I start getting these story pop-ups with my asking my name, my email, and I put them
We want
in.
your money.
And I put them in. Then I start to get messages from these
Oh my
Turkish people. I'm
God.
like, how the hell did they get my number? I forget I gave them my number.
Oh my God.
And
Even
they start to
it-
call you.
when it came to my lips, like it was quite a simple procedure, but it's like, so first I was going to this doctor.
You mentioned something too.
Yes.
Yes, I want to hear this.
So
And your
basically,
Trying to
they
find
say
it
when
separate.
you get breast reduction, مش like قلبك ovia, but we're talking about it. It's much more painful than it is to get them done, as in bigger.
Imagine.
I
'Cause
think
you're actually
so.
removing. Yeah.
yeah, for
Madonna.
sure. But that's the thing. If I get them done, I want to get them done after kids. Because basically, when you get kids, I think you will just lose all what you've done, especially like, you know what I mean? But when it came to my lips, basically, I'd done my research. And first, I was going like to this doctor, which was like a corner away from me. So it was like very convenient. And like everyone was going to this particular doctor. And she followed me back as well. And I was like looking through her work. And as I said at the beginning, I really wanted a natural look. So I don't want to be like too much. And I was like noticing her clientele and Malta being so small, you get to see some familiar faces. And I was like scrolling and I saw like these three particular ladies. I'm like, when I see them like face to
Face to face is
face,
different.
They don't look like this.
they don't know. I say their lips are way too much for their face. Like, so their like face is small, but their lips are like way too big for them. So that is when I realized that I will not go to this doctor. And then I went to a
But another
professional
thing
clinic.
is that's a party li għaw ħafna mean they just do the same to everyone. They have one shape and they do it to everyone.
Yes,
That's
that
a
I
problem.
noticed it
But
as
and
well.
then there is the thing, like me, a hard-headed woman.
Curious what you're about to say. Then.
Li I don't care what my doctor says. If my doctor says, "Oh, do this," I'm like, "No, I want this." My doctor isn't happy with what she did to me, but but I have to be happy, you know, at the end of the day, not my doctor. So, and then you have to take into account li not firstly the work that she did isn't her fault at the film. She didn't provide.
Some people actually
I guess what
request
you
request
mean.
that
Yeah.
look.
Yes,
But then I got to know that she is here illegally.
there's
So,
so
Oh.
much in this country.
There are a lot.
So much.
It is
So I was
really a
like,
People
okay,
get
I'm
problem.
not-
arrested, like out of their
It is
clinic.
really a problem, and
No,
people are
some
ending
of them,
up
I
with
wasn't going to go
botched
to someone like
jobs.
that,
Huh?
you
You go
know.
to jail, like.
So then I wanted to pay a bit more money and go to like a professional
Of course.
clinic.
The first, but this is going to be so obvious. Oh yeah.
شفنا قلبه.
No, because I had promoted the first time that I did my lips, and then they were botched. They were. I had migration. I had like lumps as well in my lips.
Migration is when the filler kind of
But
travels.
it was no, it was instant migration. It was because it
Wasn't
was
done- injected
filled,
well.
it was
Oh
it
no.
was injected
so you have like a
improperly.
mustache. I had it, huh?
I had to wait a year and a half for it like to
you
you
can't
know,
remove it then.
melt a
No,
bit.
you can remove. I removed it.
You can remove it, but it's painful.
It is painful. I did it 2 months ago.
It is painful.
Okay,
This
how
is
was
actually-
it? How was it?
It was painful. Half not painful. It's
And what do you need to do? Like, what do
it's
they do?
injections. It's injections that, if I remember correctly, what you said, again, I don't know. It's like the filler so يجي water.
Yeah.
ويطلع. And then you have to wait for a certain period of time until you get them
Squeeze
done
it like a
again.
pimple.
Yes.
Oh, seriously?
It's not.
It's true.
It was not nice. It was not fun.
Oh, wow.
It's I've
Was
done
it a
my,
long process?
I
yet?
did
Like
no, not so much. It's like you getting fillers. Imma
It's like you get
I've done
what?
fillers normal.
Uh-huh.
Is I've done my jaw one time. I did it in May.
What did you do?
Fillers in my jaw.
Okay.
Now I think they're gone, to be honest.
Like to make the jaw look
Make them
sharp,
more
yeah.
to be more sharp. And that was very, very painful.
20 questions with me.
did
Yeah?
they do like
That
numbing
was-
cream? Like
I don't think I did numbing cream.
Yeah, I imagine.
I don't think I did numbing cream in my jaw.
Wow. Okay.
Għax inti fil-jaw, you don't do, for example, I did also filler in my nose. So I do filler here, and it gets straight. So it gets, Madonna, I have a sofa. And now I think it's gone down a bit. But when you put filler here, it goes up like this. But it straightens automatically from here. That didn't hurt, and she put anesthetic. But here, the filler goes inside the bone.
Sidetrack, just for you to know. You know your glasses may affect the fillering.
I don't wear my glasses often.
Okay.
اليوم مش بكره البستانس.
You end up getting like the
I
dents.
know. First 2 weeks you can't for sure wear them.
no, I think if you're really going to get like these type of treatments, you have to like be prepared for them. Like even the aftercare.
No, definitely.
Aftercare
Definitely.
is way too important. Like to keep, you know, the
Maintain them.
maintenance.
Even
You
your
know,
lips have to massage them.
How was it to
I never
heal
do wash.
like from
I
your
get a-
from
I
your
get a
boob job?
halawat.
I think that's the most significant
For
kind
me-
of surgery that you can undergo.
I'm gonna be honest with you. It was not painful. It was not painful at all. And I feel like because obviously, as I said, for someone who does not train their upper body, it is going to be like a week of like disability. You won't be able to move, you won't be able to lift yourself, but if you have like good core, like muscles and like shoulders and all that stuff, you won't realize, because what people don't actually realize is how much they use their pectorals rather than the rest of their body when they're
Yeah.
moving. Because the first thing I realized when I woke up, like after my surgery, I went up to get up. I used my chest to like lift myself up, not my core, not anything. And that's when I was like, "Hoo, hoo, 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 hoo." I was like, I need to find like another option here. And I remember I had my compression socks. I grabbed my compression socks and I just used my core to lift myself up. But then I had another friend of mine. She did her boobs and I was telling her all these things. She was like, Madonna, sorry, I can't move. She spent 2 weeks in her bed. Like her mom doing everything for her. And I had told her prior, I told her, I'm going to say babe. I said, babe,
I told you so.
go to the gym at least a month before. At least, just so you're like, your muscles
You
are
can't
active.
smoke and you can't.
You can't do it. I mean, I don't do
Enough for it.
I
No,
don't
but not
smoke or
in
anything like
general,
that.
it's
So
good
it
to
was
know
like
these
easy for
things.
me. But genetically, like as an Arabic, like I do have keloids, like genetically. So like my skin does heal faster than like normal. And I had like complications with my scar. And with this side, genetically, I had complications with my pectoral. Like I have like a dent
In your muscle.
in my muscle. So when I did the implant, obviously like it was suppressing it a bit more, so it was like a bit lower and all that stuff, which it was the first time they saw it as well. So
Yeah, because you never had to look into it.
And he showed me like the before and after pictures, and honestly, like with my boobs, I was so not aware of how improportionate and like, you know, because one is lower than the other, all that
But I
stuff.
think that's not
I was
natural,
never
isn't it?
aware of how they looked because it was never like the actual physical, like it was the volume and like the projection of them that
Yeah.
bugged me.
Yeah.
I think about the pain, I think it's also how big your boobs were to begin with. There are some people who
Mine were
have
always standard,
who
though.
have very, very, very small boobs. And I do into you have like the skin, you know? When you have extra skin.
She's about to take it off.
No, I'm not about to take it off. My boobies. He's not looking.
He's what you
Thank God.
It's an uplifting show.
An
See?
uplifting
Second time.
show.
Okay,
But
okay.
when you have extra skin, I think, like when you have a borza, and
Yeah.
you're putting something in it, you have
Yeah.
space to put it. So I think
Depends on your skin
it's
or
a bit more-
elasticity.
Because it's gonna
Exact-
create a stretch.
exactly when you
Yeah.
have very, very small, tight boobies.
For me, for example, my problem with them was because my boobs initially were always tender and they were always like, because they were always like hormonal. So they were always tense. So once I did them as well, they were like more tense. And obviously like they take longer to adjust and all that stuff. Another reason why I'm also open about these things, another reason why I'm also open about these things, because even before getting my boobs, and no nose, I guess, done, everyone used to always say, oh my God, she's so done up. She has her cheeks. Before I got my nose operated, I had my nose, I had my jaw, I had my chin, my lips, yes, I did. And even my boobs, obviously, when I would be gaining weight, they're like, oh, she did her boobs, because they would fluctuate so much.
But
So
listen,
that's another
lips are
reason.
something that they change. No, must change. They structure your face. When I did my lips, my mom thought I did fillers in my cheeks. I never touched my cheeks.
It was prior to that, like since 2000, I did my lips 2020, 2021. I started social media 2018, 2019.
And you were already
then-
getting accused.
Since
of
then, nose
doing
job,
stuff.
cheeks, lips, and I never had anything.
We were talking about like opinions and like your audience, like being on Instagram. Like, for example, when I got my lips done, as I got them like a year ago, 1 ml, it was nothing big.
And I hadn't realized. Remember, you had
But
to
no,
tell
no,
me.
no one realized. Like to this
I don't
day,
realize.
because
Yeah?
like they were very natural. No, like no one realized.
A
I
good
had
job
to
is
tell them.
natural. It's true.
What did your family think of it? Cause it's
Written-
isn't it?
Of course, it's
I
written
read
here.
your mind. No,
I was going to ask you, in fact.
because for example, in my
My family.
What, like, were you criticized? Were you supported?
no, Ara, from my mother, hello mother, because I know she's gonna see this, and I'm like, hello mom.
Hey, ma'am.
No, basically, when I told her that I'm going to get my lips done, she was like, no way, do not go. Your lips are perfect. They're totally fine. You're just
Mums.
19. It's the mom instinct. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't want her daughter to get lip filler at 19 years old. When I went, I remember I went into her hair salon. So there were clients there. And after my appointment, I went there. And she didn't even notice.
Oh.
And I just got them done. Like, I had no bruising, nothing. So I was very lucky.
That's why.
My grandparents were like, Ma, don't start because you'll get addicted. My brother, we were taking a photo. He was like doing this like lip face, like making fun of me, like in a joke way.
Yeah.
But I don't think there was no one that
Oh my
told
God,
me.
sorry.
No problem. I don't think there was like no one telling me, yes, go ahead, go and do it.
Uh-huh. True. In my family, when I do my lips, and every time I'm gonna say I'm gonna get them done again, Madonna Jade, kif ħadġibu iċ-check. But I love it. I tell them I want when I walk into a room, my lips have to arrive 2 minutes before me.
my god. Okay, so you asked and answered one of my questions there. What about you? Did you find more
Mine,
support or criticism?
I have, different cultures. My dad's side, obviously, they're all about natural beauty,
So your
haram,
dad is
Muslim.
okay.
And so is the rest of his family. It's haram and all these things. Then obviously from my mom's side, I have relatives who learn these things. So and they're all big busty. In fact, my family side, like from my mom, whenever they see me in my skinniest form, it's when I look the most ill for them. You need like nutrition, girl. What are you doing? And then when I'm like, fluffy, they're like, oh my god, you look so good. You look so healthy, Mimlia.
Exactly.
And all these. So obviously,
Maltese type of thing.
they even wanted to halve my boobs with me when I was certain at the age of 18 that I wanted to get them done. My mom's side. As in my mom, because she knew how it affected me. Like obviously, like she doesn't want me to be skin and bones filmed. So for her, it's like, okay, so you're going to be healthy if you do them. So that's like, what I want for you and all that stuff. But I was like, I'm not gonna do them anytime soon until I know with my fast metabolism and all that stuff, I'm not going to eat it. Basically.
You have to get a weight that you will maintain, I think, when you get the boobs done.
Exact. So, because obviously, like, I'm prone to stretch marks as well and all that stuff. So I was really always like researching and all that. But with them, they were like, once I got them done, like, as in, when she looks at them, she's like, Maya. Because obviously she's used to fed boobs. As in, they look natural. I'm not saying that they don't, but for her, knowing that there's
they're
like...
perky.
And that's also another thing. I got the high profile and not the low profile because my boobs were originally already low. Like naturally, I did not have volume up here, always down here. In fact, right now, with my added fat, I have more down here and the implant up here. That's like how they are. And they still don't look
You're getting me
high.
to feel my boobs. Let me see.
These are all things I have not. This is the first time I'm hearing about high profile, low profile.
High
all of the
profile. High
information.
profile normally is like when you have saggy boobs and you want obviously like
Yeah, the lift,
the volume,
kind of.
the volume up here.
Yeah.
It's if you have saggy boobs. I'm saying naturally, like you had some boobs that are saggy, they're going to look natural because they're going to fill in the void.
Exactly, like I told you.
If you
with
go
the
high.
pain.
If you go, but if you're flat as the stable and you go with high profile, it's the most unnatural look you can go for. Like you'd see this like highlight effect.
They're like balloons.
No, if you don't have, when you don't have, you should go teardrop, like teardrop or like normal profile, which will give you like a natural boob.
I'm on the go, you know I rise up with the sun. I bang the gavel, then unravel, yeah, I come undone. I'm trying to outrun the shadow on my heels. Follow the rhythm, clock is ticking, time to grease the wheels. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving. Just keep it moving.
Natru offers a wide range of 100% plant-based drinks produced from the highest quality water from Monsieur Natural Park and the tastiest whole grain fruits and nuts. All our drinks hold a clean label as they're produced with minimum ingredients, avoiding additives and with no added sugars. Natru, eating better to create a better world.
We don't actually have a professional on the show, but you have done your research so well.
That was going to ask.
And
Like, how
no,
long
it's,
did
it's
this
so
take you?
important. Like she
Years.
has done her research so well.
I even know about breast reduction.
There are two types of
everything.
people in this world.
You?
Me and her. I just go. I just do. I like it. I see it. I want it. I
I'm
got
worse than
it.
you. I'm worse than you because zilch.
And I told you before as
So
well
bad,
about
though.
the breast implant illness. It is mental because they did so many research, so many tests and all that stuff, and there is nothing like no parasites, nothing in their bloodstreams, nothing. It's mental, because when you fixate on something,
Mela, it's normal.
and it's a foreign substance in your body, like it's not naturally there. In fact, for me, when I don't think about them, I can move them, I can squeeze them, everything. When I hyperfixate about them, they're so tense. Like I can feel them like
Sure, that's
so
with
tense.
everything, ma.
But I'm aware that if, like, you know, the symptoms had to arise or something, they're going first thing, boom, flight, bye, ciao. They're gone. I don't care about this car. Genuinely, I don't care about these cars. As if, like, I had them, I enjoyed them, they're gone. And I did them at this age because I knew if I had to do them earlier, they're going to sag because of gravity. And the saggy boob.
Goddamn gravity.
No, because...
Babe, Vera, tech, Vera.
Fair, fair. Why?
I didn't know it was a factor.
What do you mean?
How do you mean?
Yes, of
do you
course.
mean?
As if they're going to stay up. They're not going to stay up.
Because of gravity.
The same thing with your nose. Your nose constantly keeps sagging and sagging and sagging.
So
And
she's the
growing
expert here,
and
yeah?
growing.
Yeah. Bye, I'm out. What's your full-time job?
Researcher.
It's really good because this is I encourage this for anyone out there who wants to get work done, who wants to change something about themselves. You should be like her. You should have exhausted all of the research possibilities.
Don't be like
You
me.
should have really done, like, you really know what you're talking about here. Like, I'm actually, like, learning more about
At the end of the day, it's your body. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, gravity.
Yeah.
day, like,
It is gravity. And that's why I wanted to do them when I'm 25. Because imagine I did them when I was 18.
You have 7 years of gravity.
At 18,
And
I
what's
don't
the
think we
point?
even developed
You're
completely,
not.
you know?
So I'm like, what's the point? I'm like, what's the point of that? So
Yeah.
obviously, like,
You can always get them done again.
but I feel like at that age, like 20 years from now, realistically, like obviously I want to remain fit and all that stuff, but I'm not going to be wearing, like, for example, right now, the attire I wear, sometimes it's sexy, sometimes it's not. It's a balance. I personally, in my opinion, don't imagine at 40 wanting to be looking sexy. I want to be looking mature. I don't want to be looking in that balance, you know? Obviously, I want to be a MILF of my kid, you know what I mean? But I don't feel like...
But gravity is gonna challenge that.
I wouldn't want my boobs bigger,
no.
with gravity. I feel like with kids, once I have kids, I can dust them off. I mean, they can stay there. They can stay there if I take care of them. And obviously, I go do my checkup. and do my checkups and all that
Bye,
stuff. They can
boobage.
stay for a long time. Because mine is, they're saline water.
What?
My implants are saline water.
Okay, so it's
They're
actually
not-
water in there.
They're not silicone. They're not as harmful as silicone as well. They're like more
Flowy.
modern, more natural as well.
I didn't even
to
know
the
that they
grip.
do this.
no, like,
You can ask.
nothing.
Like, obviously,
Yeah,
it's,
but I
it's meant to
never-
be an option.
Can I, like, out of curiosity,
I didn't tell me.
your research, like, it started, like, based in Malta, or you got all this information, like, based in Turkey? Like, is
Based-
Malta informative
Malta
about this
was-
stuff?
I don't really think so, to be honest.
How? Good question.
No.
That was a good question.
No. The reason why I went to Turkey. The thing is, I had money saved ages ago, like
Oh.
to get them done.
How expensive was it?
If I had to pay.
Yes. How much does it cost? Sponsorships aside. How much does it cost to get your boobs done in Turkey?
If I had to pay. Why, ma?
No, because she might have asked that in a way, like, of traveling and all that stuff.
No.
Because that's obviously,
But
like,
sometimes
if you're
there's
staying
packages as
there,
well.
The full thing.
the full thing, around in Malta right now, it's cheaper. But in Malta right now, they send you home the next day.
True.
Oh, okay.
And they
Cara.
don't... And on
That's
top
fine.
of that,
And like 2,000 for normal
I'm
and
gonna get
5,000
so much hate
with,
for this song.
for
The amount of people that I know have issues with their boobs, like they're
True.
solid and up, because they don't have the proper aftercare. For me, it took me 2 months with my... it's up here. It took it took me 2 months to stay with my surgery bra, and my surgery bra was like a full-on bra that you tie from here. I know girls who got their boobs done and they don't even wear a bra, and they're out the next weekend on
Sis,
boats
my
and all
friend
that
yesterday,
stuff.
she came to my birthday party. You know when she did her boobs? Last Wednesday.
In Malta.
Yes!
I'm telling you,
She's,
I would rather
of course,
pay.
she's not in pain or something. Emma.
She will be further on.
Shane.
She will be further on because it costs.
Of course, I wanted her to come to my birthday.
It's called the capsular contraction, where you're not giving your boobs.
As she wore the bra, I think.
More fun facts are coming.
You're not giving your boobs like time, especially if you do them under the muscle, to properly form. So then you have your extra layer of skin. Yes, you have an extra layer of skin that's forming around it, and it's like,
Ma,
Supported, kind of.
and
The
it will
camera's
be
gonna
so
get
hard. and
shots
It would
of me like,
it would be so, and it would be so hard and so painful, so hard and so painful.
Asna Fucci.
And they stay up. They stay up and they stay glued like that, and they look so unnatural. But I feel like for prices here, it's like what, 4,000 now?
And
Because
in
they
Turkey,
reduced the prices. Turkey, it ranges for 4,500 to 6,000. But you have
Everything.
I thought it was more expensive.
your
Turkey, I thought it was
transport. They
cheaper,
pick you
actually.
up. They pick you up from the airport, also to the hotel.
You have the full experience,
Exactly, you
right?
have the hotel as
they
well for
actually
9 days.
take care of you.
For the 9 days, you have a nurse coming in, checking you, and all that stuff. And then you have like your follow up. You also have a WhatsApp group chat with your nurse and the consultant and whoever
Wow.
from the clinic is taking care of you as well, and a translator, because that's a factor as well in Turkey. They're not that well, you know.
Versed in the
Yeah,
English
you
language.
need a full-on translator. Like.
But they sort everything for you. The staff is very nice as well. Like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Even like you can see the surgeon's work. You can even choose the surgeon. They give you like an option
Wow.
from surgeons.
Give you a menu.
Because it's true, like for example, you either
Doctor
need,
menu.
because some people, for example, like with my nose, I needed an ENT, someone who knew what they were doing internally. I was like, if there's something,
Not just
Not
aesthetically.
just for a cosmetic.
exactly. And in fact, like now when I post about it, that's another thing, because although it was sponsored with both of them, with my boobs, I knew like I researched very further on, early on, and all that stuff. So I knew I wanted to document it day in, day out. I stopped after, I think, 3 months, because then I was like, from now on, I want to document it in a way that like every like struggle with the gym, with the diet, with clothes, and all that stuff, I wanted to actually document it so then I can post it, because when you actually search about it like on YouTube and all that stuff, you just see like a month transformation.
Yeah.
People
You don't
after
see
a
the
month,
real kind of.
they
the
don't
full-on
speak.
life.
They don't speak about like how it feels from the side, how it actually feels like when it heals, the scar, like the numbness. The numbness scared the shit out of me. For
Oh,
example,
man, I can't even handle certain socks, let alone actually having socks inside me.
Socks.
Like,
No, but for example,
courageous.
it's something you get used to. Like now I'm used to them, but as I said before, if like I had to think about them, then yes, I start feeling them because you're hyper aware.
Yeah.
But
And
for
it's
example,
a
right
foreign
now-
body at the end of the day, you
But
know?
that's you get used to it. For example, your lips, when you do your lips the first
Mela,
time,
you don't
you
compete
get
with
rid
them.
of them because your body wants to get rid of the foreign substance.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more your body is like, okay, so this is normal.
You know, Julie, I
And what
become
does that say?
self-conscious
That
about
the-
the fillers in my lips. It's like I start to feel the fillers in my lips.
Yeah.
It's what your brain accepts.
Yes, it was like
But
that
what
for
does
me.
that say that the body tries to reject it? That's quite interesting, like when it comes to nature's kind
True.
of ways.
But it then accepts it. So
Not all, not everyone.
Not always. There
My,
are
But not
my laser
everyone.
Heard a lot of
therapist,
stories,
my laser
huh?
therapist has tried so many different doctors, so many different times.
Yeah.
Her
For
body
what?
just cannot. Lips. Lips start.
I also know people who
Simple.
did the breast reduction surgery
And they got
and
boobies
their
back.
boobs like doubled right
Away,
up.
That's
Yes,
why.
yes,
That's
yes,
why.
yes.
yeah.
Yes, that's why I didn't get it
Wait,
in the
it's
Do you
first
think
place.
that can actually happen?
guaranteed.
No,
It's not guaranteed.
it's not like tal bypass ta. Like
That's not for
when you
bypass.
do, when you do a breast reduction, you're just
Bypass the
removing
burger
the fat.
cara.
Yeah,
لا البايباس الصنكو. You're shrinking you're shrinking بالbypass you're shrinking your stomach, so like you're not meant to
Okay.
gain weight as much, but with your
Ask question.
like with your boobs you're just
I
removing the
thought-
fat, not your genetic fat thing, you know.
So there are like three main things I want to ask, kind of throwing them onto the table. Regrets. If you could go back in time, would you make the same decisions again? Was there anything that you ever did that you regretted?
No.
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 I'm thinking to do it again.
Of
ġifieri.
course. Regret
Especially
I
with
don't
the
do it enough.
timeline. No. Especially with the timeline as well.
And also, I mean, you've all had pretty good experiences. We don't actually have someone on the show who had their face ruined or.
No.
Because I've seen some
I would really cry.
pretty horrible
What you were saying about
experiences.
your family, like having that thought about it, you have to keep in mind as well, for their age, in their time, there was like Donatella Versace.
Oh
to
my
put it
god,
in
but
perspective.
that's bad.
So for
Now
them,
she's
when they
much
hear
better,
filler,
yeah?
but when they hear filler and like Botox, that's
That's what they
what
think
they
of,
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ma,
That's what
No,
they
and,
see.
and
That's
just
a scary
social media,
story.
just they
Very
go to the
scary.
negative like treatments, you know what I mean?
Everything.
They don't like be honest like you are on social media, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like the mind just functions to the negative way.
Yeah, so no regrets. But if I had to ask, are there any misconceptions you'd like to clear up about Botox fillers or plastic surgery? I feel that we've cleared up a lot of misconceptions
Yeah.
on
You have
today's
some?
show. Do you have any others?
I mean, not that I'm thinking of. at
No,
the
not
moment.
No, not really.
Is there anything that I mean we pretty much I feel that I've learned a lot
Oh,
on
okay,
this show.
okay.
Which is,
Actually,
yeah, go for it.
just because you do it a couple of times doesn't make you fake, because your body will get rid of it.
True, true. And hyaluronic acid is something we already have.
Yes, yes.
Exactly, we already have it. Ara, xi ħaġa nafu stra. And you injecting it goes away naturally
Because
with
there's
metabolism.
there's this thing when like you, for example, when I did my lips the first time, they were like, "Oh my god, you're so fake." And I'm
No,
like,
when I was on Love Island, the
"Babe, it's
comments
just
I
a plump,
saw.
ta, like relax."
The comments I saw when I was on Love Island. Ara, di isa papra. I'm like, leave my lips walk before me.
And
And I
Yeah,
didn't take it
fair, yeah.
personally at all, to be honest. I'm just commenting about it because it was
because
there.
you're happy with
Yeah.
it.
But listen,
And you did it for yourself.
if someone did
That is
it
the most
to
important
try
thing.
to hurt me or like in a sense, because I mean we're in Malta, everyone sees this shit, you know. Yek, it wasn't that purpose. I was like, that's how I like them, you know. But that's how I like them.
I have another thing actually. When some,
She's getting ready. Yeah,
if you know that someone did their boobs, don't like comment about them and all that stuff, because some people actually do it for cancerous reasons.
True, if people are not educated enough on these things.
So
yeah, unless you're on a podcast to discuss your boobs,
like,
don't comment about it.
so exactly. No, my DMs, for example, since I did my boob job, I mean, I did publicly say it as well. You can DM me and all that stuff. Those are my DMs.
It's true.
Like asking you,
Asking me, like, for example, how much should I do it in Malta? For example, should I not do it in Malta? Like, what are things I should be like aware of? For example, I wish someone told me, if you're like a hypochondriac, you shouldn't do these things. I'm
because
not
it's gonna
saying
make you like panic even more, right?
because if you're like, if you're not mentally prepared of the feeling of it, that you might feel it, then you're going to make yourself sick.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So these are things that obviously like I wish someone told me, and I know that most people are not being told these things either.
You know, one thing I want to mention, which is unrelated to this conversation, is how I wouldn't have seen someone for a very long time before I did my fillers. For example, like they know me at school and they see me and then they're like, Illallu, how much you've changed. I'm like, yes, hello, fillers, Botox. But it's something that you should take as a compliment in reality, because if it's something, or some people, what I'm trying to say is, they say it in a certain tone, you know? Like, hello, you've changed a lot. Like, m'intix ħat offendini għax you're telling me I got lips done, you know? You should own it when you do
Yeah.
these things.
And I think that's something it's a common thread between all of you, that you own it. You don't do it because of someone else.
Exactly.
Influenced by beauty standards, probably a bit, yes, because I think indirectly we all are. I mean,
We all started
I'm
from,
100% honest. This because
we all started from a young age. We all grew up with the Kim Kardashian, what's her name? Kylie Jenner lip kits and this
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah.
I loved her lips.
but
bro.
at the end of the day, to still do it for yourself, to still do it because you like it, and you're not trying
Yes.
to please someone else. So
The
I
attention
would
comes with it.
say, yeah,
But it's not for
For me,
that.
it was more like for the anatomy of a female body rather than for the beauty standards of having big boobs, though. because my
You're very
muscles
scientific and researchy.
no, but it's true because for me, like I had more of a muscular build without my boobs being fat, and I wanted them to feel,
Exactly.
how I
But
feel
the anatomy
normally.
of a female body is a beauty standard, because a female body, we have grown up even in art, in the way that the body is depicted in
True.
art. We have always grown up with this image of the female body. It is an image. It is an image. And
Alright, I'm gonna
if you
be
look through
honest.
history, there were some points of history where the perfect female body was actually quite what we would consider now to be obese.
Mela.
No, but
The
you're
moral
not
hoshna, bro.
Exactly. And
You're
then,
not
for
understanding
example,
my perspective of it. I'm saying the female part. I'm not saying the size of it. I'm saying the proportionate of like the muscular plus my natural fat. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
But
which,
still
which
it
is
comes
still a
from.
beauty standard.
Exactly.
No, I don't. I need to like think about it to put it in actual words, but it's not like that, because it would be more like, for example, if I got bigger boobs and I did not have any muscles, then yes, that would have been like a beauty standard. But it was more to balance it for me to not look masculine. So that's more like gender based rather than a beauty standard.
Fair enough, fair enough. I guess because I've always grown up with, like, I studied art and I was always
very
very
philosophical.
aware.
It's not
Very
the
philosophical.
size. It's not the size per se. It's more like the body anatomy of when you see a man and a woman. And I
But
was
that is
seeing
an image
myself.
that was created
exactly,
by,
that's what we're
by
trying to
humans.
say.
It's
Yes,
not an
of
image. When you see a
course.
man and you see a woman, you know who's the man and who's the woman.
Imma,
It's not because
if we
it's
are,
painted.
If we are born, but if you are born a
It's not because
certain
it's
way,
painted.
that's how you're a woman.
Exactly.
That's
And
how
I
God
was
put you
born.
here.
I was born
And you're a
with the
woman.
chunkier boobs, and while I was training, I did not have chunkier boobs. So that's how my image of myself was already. So it's not a beauty standard. It's how I genetically was born, and I found the balance of it. That's not the beauty standard. If it was a beauty standard, like for example, if I had to get a BBL, because like I want a big butt, and that's what the beauty standard in my head is. That's deep.
Fair enough.
But yes, that's
Fair
my
enough.
opinion.
I have one last question. What would you say to someone who's considering a cosmetic procedure for the first time? Now, truthfully and genuinely, I really like how she has given so much actual good advice, and like, I want to encourage our viewers, especially because this is a podcast for young women, to do their research. But any advice, maybe from your past experiences, maybe on finding the right doctor, maybe on what your intention should be with it, what would you say?
Okay. Make sure you're doing it for yourself, not because you have toxic relationships either with your family or your partners. Because I know a lot of people that obviously psychologically they were affected by their family and also by their partners. For example, their partner's ideal body type would be, let's say, big butt, and then they end up getting a big butt. The same thing with, like, for example, someone who their ideal partner is blonde and they go full on blonde. Make sure you're actually doing it for yourself and not for others, and not for whatever something is trending. Just because something looks good on someone else doesn't mean it's going to look good on you. And as I said, for yourself.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes. I second it. Jade,
Wait,
number
what was
one.
the question? Sorry, I had a lapsus.
So-
I was looking.
Just a closing remark, a closing advice on what you would tell
Shivering,
someone who is looking to get a cosmetic procedure.
I think
Because I didn't.
what she said really covered it all, to be honest, because I advocate for doing things for yourself, making yourself happy, looking in the mirror and saying,
I look hot today.
yes.
And tomorrow. Until gravity beats
Yes,
me.
but oh my god, there's some gravity.
Gravity part was a good
Oh
one.
my
That was
God.
a good one.
But considering, obviously we have young listeners and stuff like that, don't do it for other people. You should always be happy with yourself, even naturally. But doing procedures won't make you fake, or it won't make you any less authentic. It will enhance your beauty.
You know, when I feel like as well, you can tell if someone did it for someone else when they get triggered.
Bro, they can't be happy with themselves. That's what it is.
No, when someone does something and they're secretive about it,
Yeah.
and they
Like
instantly
they can't
get,
own it. We
they
mentioned it
instantly
before.
get, you know, that they did it to look better for other people and not for themselves. because the way they would like get triggered by someone else doing stuff and how they overanalyze, like
Mhm.
it's just so obvious that they didn't do it for themselves,
عادي
and they end up
عم
regretting it.
كده.
They end up regretting it.
Like all things that we do for others and not for ourselves, it doesn't just apply to cosmetic procedures. These
Exactly.
are some really wise words here. Jade?
I would say find someone that supports you and like doesn't drag you down, because these are things that can even eventually like affect you mentally.
Mm-hmm.
So like social media being one thing, your family, friends, but it all has to come from you. So yeah. So basically finding the right support system.
Super.
Aw.
Super. So I think that we are going to bring this conversation to a close. I would really like to thank you all for being here with me today. So thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Jade. And thank you, Jade, for sharing your stories and experiences and being so open. I think if there's one takeaway from today, it's that these decisions are deeply personal, and I do want to stress that. But they're also reflective of a wider cultural movement, which is unfolding right in front of us, right as we're living. So, yeah, let's keep the conversation going because women's experiences, choices, and voices deserve to be heard.